All right, Khan, Shalom, Shalom, Israel, Shalom to the Torah tribes. Yasha, Allah giving the course, Allah honor, glory, and praise unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the names of God, Saint Abba Shah. This is Brother Yasha, Allah coming back to y'all yet. Another video through the Spirit, Power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach, Mamalak, Yahweh Shah. All right, Shalom, Shalom. So I'm getting straight into this, all right? This is going into the proverb of the day. This is going into the book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and verse 4. It says, wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. So what's cool about this precept is it says wealth maketh many friends. We understand that. Wealth is going to make a lot of friends. I'm going to pull up this picture real quick. So when you're wealthy, you have a lot of friends. Everybody wants to be your friend at that point. When you're wealthy, you have a lot of money. You have a lot of riches, right? Everybody wants to be your friend at that point because you have everything. You have money. So whenever you have money, everybody wants to be nice to you because they want to use you for some of that money. They want to use you for that money because you have access to certain things that they may not have access to, right? They want to use you, therefore be your friend. So the wealth is going to make many friends. You're going to have a lot of people that listen to you. In fact, when you go to the book of Sirach, all right, I'm gonna get in my Bible and I'm going to pull it up. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 19, Slakia 13. All right, Sirach 13. And verse number 22, it says, when a rich man is fallen, he had many helpers. So when a rich man is fallen, he has many helpers. But when the poor falls, no one's there to help him because he's poor. All right, nobody cares about the poor man. In fact, when you we're going to read the second part of that proverb. It says, wealth making many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. So even the poor, the neighbor to him that's near to him, his own brother, is separated from him. Even the poor don't even like each other. Sometimes even the poor don't even stick to each other because they're poor. In fact, you have a video, two Jakes, I believe it was two Jakes, all right, and it's a viral video, went viral because of the irony in the video. You can look it up for yourself. It says basically a homeless guy calls another homeless guy a broke ass N-word. You can feel it. You can feel the blank, right? A broke ass, all right, ninja, all right. I'm not going to say the word on here. All right, we're going to keep things. Thus saith the Almighty Yahweh Ba'ashem, Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. But it says he literally said he called this other guy. Remember, they're both homeless. But he called the other homeless guy a broke ass, all right, ninja. So, and that's our people, all right. Now, when you look at this precept on a physical level, right, that's what it means. You know, wealth. When you're wealthy, you make many friends. But when you're poor, you don't necessarily have a lot of friends, all right, because nobody really wants to associate with you because you don't have anything, right? And when you're wealthy, you got 12 cars. You understand? You got all this money. You got the good food. You got the good clothes on you. You got access to a lot of things. When you're poor, you strung out, right? Now, when you look at this on a spiritual aspect, because remember, there's all the scriptures double that to that which is. When in Proverbs 19 and 4, it says, wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. Even the poor. Now, who's poor in this world? The Lord. I mean, it's like Israel. Let's go to James chapter 2, verse 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not God chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him? So the Lord said, have not God chosen the poor of this world, but rich in faith? They're rich in faith, right? But we're poor, right, on a physical level. So our people was poor. The Lord, he chose us, but we're poor though. Yet we're rich in faith, all right? So, and when you go to Revelation 2:9, it says, I know thy works, tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. So the Lord said that the real Jews, the real Israelites are impoverished. You go to this precept in Proverbs 19 and 4, wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor, because the poor is going to be separated from his neighbor. Why? Because even our people despise each other. When you look at it like that on a spiritual aspect, who is the poor in this aspect? The Israelites. We even separate from each other. We don't like each other, right? Because when we look at each other, we don't have anything. You know, we're looking around in our communities. We're in the same position. That's why we don't like each other, right? That's why we want to kind of leach out to Esau and marry and get with the Edomites and marry the Edomites because they got stuff of this world. right? Or that's why we want to go to the Moabites, because they got stuff of this world. That's why we want to go to the other nations, because they got the good things, the so-called good things of this world. Therefore we want to go to them, right? And spend our money with them. When you go into that, let me get this precept in Luke chapter 15, right? Like the prodigal son, Luke 15 and verse number 13. And not many days after the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country. See that? He didn't spend his money with his own people. He went into a far country, and there wasted his substance with riotous living. And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in that land, and he began to be in want. Right? And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country and sent him into his fields to feed swine. Right? So he went and joined himself with what? A citizen of that country, which is going into who? The heathen. So that's what our people like to do, is join themselves onto strangers. Right? You even go to that precept in Jeremiah chapter 2. Let me get this real quick. Jeremiah 2. And let me get this. Jeremiah 2 and verse it's like I have love strangers, and after them will I go. It's like, yeah. Let's just try to find this precept real quick. Well, I can't find it. Let me see. Let me try to look it up. Right, it's like, yeah. This is Jeremiah chapter. Okay, see, yeah, I was looking right at it. Jeremiah 2 and verse 25. All praises. It says, "Withhold thy foot from being unshod, and thy throat from thirst. But thou saidest, there is no hope. No, for I have loved strangers, and after them will I go." So the Lord said, or basically this is our people saying that they have loved strangers, and they're going to go after them. But we despise each other. Even going back to the curses, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. But reading this precept again, wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. So even our people hate each other. All right, and that's what you can kind of get from on a spiritual level from that. All right, through the spirit. All right, wealth making many friends. You see Esau, he has allies. He has multiple allies. And Esau, they care for each other. They look at each other and they support each other because they're doing good. Right. In fact, when you go to the book of Revelation, it'll tell you that these nations, they send gifts to one another. All right, this is Revelation chapter 11. All right, Revelation 11 and verse 8. Right now, I want 10. It says, "And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them." This talking about the nations that have rule over us, "and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth." So they send gifts to one another, all right, and they support each other. But we are people, we don't support each other, and we separate ourselves from each other. But in order for us to break these curses, hey, guess what the Lord said? "Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired." And that we should prefer one another. Romans chapter 12. All right. But yeah, come with that. All praises to Yahweh Hashem. Hamashiach, Wamalaki, Yahweh Shah, Lord willing to edify, brother Yasha Allah. Shalom.